Hello everyone, my name is Anushka Saxena and in this video we are going to continue reading the chapter Periodic Classification of Elements. As we can see, the modern periodic table takes care of three limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table. The anomalous position of hydrogen can be discussed after we see what are the bases on which the position of an element in the modern periodic table depends. Position of elements in the modern periodic table. The modern periodic table has 18 vertical columns known as groups and 7 horizontal rows known as periods. Let us see what decides the placing of an element in a certain group and period. You will find that all these elements contain the same number of valence electrons. Similarly, you will find that the elements present in any one group have the same number of valence electrons. For example, elements fluorine F and chlorine Cl belong to group 17. How many electrons do fluorine and chlorine have in their outermost shells? Hence, we can say that groups in periodic table signify an identical outer shell electronic configuration. On the other hand, the number of shells increases as we go down the group. There is an anomaly when it comes to the position of hydrogen because it can be placed either in group 1 or group 17 in the first period. Can you say why? You will find that these elements do not have the same number of valence electrons, but they contain some number of shells. You also observe that the number of valence shell electrons increases by 1 unit as the atomic number increases by 1 unit on moving from left to right in a period. Or we can say that atoms of different elements with the same number of occupied shells are placed in the same period. Sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon belong to the third period of the modern periodic table. Since the electrons in the atoms of these elements are filled in K, L and M shells, write the electronic configuration of these elements and confirm the above statement. Each period marks a new electronic shell getting filled. How many elements are there in the first, second, third and fourth periods? We can explain the number of elements in these periods based on how electrons are filled into various shells. You will study the details of this in higher classes. Recall that the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a shell depends on the 2n square formula, where n is the number of the given shell of the nucleus. For example, K shell 2 into 1 square is equal to 2. Hence the first period has 2 elements. L shell 2 into 2 square is equal to 8. Hence the second period has 8 elements. M shell 2 into 3 square, that is 18. But the outermost shell can have only 8 electrons. So the third period also has only 8 elements. The position of an element in the periodic table tells us about its chemical reactivity. As you have learnt, the valence electrons determine the kind and number of bonds formed by an element. Can you now say why Mendeleev's choice of formulae of compounds as the basis for deciding the position of an element in his table was a good one? How would this lead to elements with similar chemical properties being placed in the same group? Trends in the modern periodic table. Valency. As you know, the valency of an element is determined by the number of valence electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom. Some additional knowledge. Mostly people get confused that what is the difference between valency and valence electrons. So, valence electrons is the number of electrons present in the outermost shell, but valency is the number of electrons that can be shared or gained by the atom. Atomic size. The term atomic size refers to the radius of an atom. The atomic size may be visualized as the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell of an isolated atom. The atomic radius of hydrogen atom is 37 pm, picometer. 1 picometer is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 12 meter. Let us study the variation of atomic size in a group and in a period. You will see that the atomic radius decreases in moving from left to right along a period. This is due to an increase in nuclear charge, which tends to pull the electrons closer to the nucleus and reduces the size of the atom. You will see that the atomic size increases down the group. This is because new shells are being added as we go down the group. This increases the distance between the outermost electrons and the nucleus so that the atomic size increases in spite of the increase in nuclear charge. Metallic and non-metallic properties. As we can see, the metals like sodium and magnesium are towards the left hand of the periodic table, while non-metals like sulfur and chlorine are found on the right hand side. In the middle, we have silicon, which is classified as a semi-metal or metalloid because it exhibits some properties of both metals and non-metals. In the modern periodic table, a zigzag line separates metals from non-metals. The borderline elements boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium are intermediate in properties and are called metalloids or semi-metals. As you have seen in chapter 3, metals tend to lose electrons while forming bonds. That is, they are electropositive in nature. As the effective nuclear charge acting on the valence shell electrons increases across a period, the tendency to lose electrons will decrease. Down the group, the effective nuclear charge experienced by valence electrons is decreasing because the outermost electrons are farther away from the nucleus. Therefore, these can be lost easily. Hence, metallic character decreases across a period and increases down a group. This is something to remember. So, I repeat, metallic character decreases across a period and increases down a group. Non-metals, on the other hand, are electronegative. They tend to form bonds by gaining electrons. Let us learn about the variation of this property. As the trends in the electronegativity show, non-metals are found on the right-hand side of the periodic table towards the top. These trends also help us to predict the nature of oxides formed by the elements because it is known to you that the oxides of metals are basic and that of non-metals are acidic in general. So, we are done with the chapter. Let's sum up by reading what you have learnt. Elements are classified on the basis of similarities in their properties. Dobereiner grouped the elements into triads and Newlands gave the law of octaves. Mendeleev arranged the elements in increasing order of their atomic masses and according to their chemical property. Mendeleev even predicted the existence of some yet to be discovered elements on the basis of gaps in his periodic table. Anomalies in arrangement of elements based on increasing atomic mass could be removed when the elements were arranged in the order of increasing atomic number, a fundamental property of the element discovered by Moseley. Elements in the modern periodic table are arranged in 18 vertical columns called groups and 7 horizontal rows called periods. Elements thus arranged show periodicity of properties including atomic size, valency or combining capacity, and metallic and non-metallic character. Thank you so much for watching.